remember you telling me a story. I think it was about was it your mother-in-law or your future mother-in-law? Like there something happened that really like, yeah, I want to hear this one. I want you to tell everybody.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since you told the story, so I want to hear it.
yeah, it's an interesting story.
Yeah, very.
It's basically how my spiritual journey, my awakening, my spiritual ascension, it's how it started. So I was 19 years old and I
Okay.
moved out of my house for the first time, and I moved in with my fiance to his very haunted house.
My goodness.
It was the most dark, desolate, haunted house on the block. I
I
think I think the kids during Halloween would like pass the house. They wouldn't even go up. They were just
was going
like,
to say, good time of year to be talking about this, right?
yeah,
We're right
yes,
around the corner.
spooky
Yeah.
season. Yeah, it was definitely a spooky house, and a lot of spiritual activity happened there. Not only to myself and my fiance, but to my friends and family that would come over. Even one of my friends, she had stayed over one night, and we heard a large crash on the street, and she felt something push her at her back, and somebody had wrapped her car like basically around a tree. It was like a
Oh my
drunk
God.
driver or something, and hit her car, and it hit a tree, and it was like this whole big thing. So I mean, things would happen to me also, and things would hit me when I would be in the basement. So there's a lot of spiritual activity, and I started to get like depressed, and I just wasn't really happy there. And my aunt suggested that we go see a psychic to have my cards read to see what was going on. So,
Okay.
this was my first experience really as a 20-year-old, you know, getting a psychic reading, getting my tarot cards read. So it was kind of like a movie scene. We went into this woman's basement in like West New York, and it was
Okay.
like in her kitchen on like a folding table.
Right.
She was this, exotic, mystical Spanish woman, and she had like a gold tooth, the whole spiel, the whole bit, the whole nine.
Dude, I love it. Oh my God.
So it was like a real experience. Like it wasn't like something you go to like the mall and go to a psychic. This was like underground, like literally
Right.
our apartment was like under
Oh my
underneath.
God. You would think she was back like when they were killing the witches, like she was
Yeah,
hiding like from,
yes.
beheaded, my
Yeah.
goodness. But okay, go ahead.
It was intense, but it was interesting. So, I'm skeptical, and I'm sitting there, and she says, you have the spirit of a woman where you live. And this woman has been mourned by her son and her father, her husband and her son, for so long that her spirit wasn't able to cross over into the light. So she was kind of like, some parts of her were like stuck in the house. So
Hmm.
that's why there was so much activity there. And she said, I was led there to that psychic to help her cross over, and that she would help me. So I'm sitting there, doubting
Yeah,
it. And I'm like
yeah, of
looking at
course.
this woman like, yeah, okay. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand any of that, spirits. I
Right,
grew up totally Catholic, we didn't speak about things like that.
of
So
course.
the minute I started doubting, the reader, the woman, she just turned white completely, like she saw a ghost, and she just stopped speaking, and she's just looking at me with a dead stare, and I'm like, am I supposed to say something? Like, what am I supposed to do? Why is she not talking? And then
Right.
all of a sudden I felt the spirit of my ex's mother jump into my physical body.
Yeah.
So
Like the movie with what's her name? Ghost.
both,
But,
yes,
yeah.
it was
Okay.
like the mounting of the spirit into my body, and
Right.
I immediately felt the message of, now do you believe this is real? Like
Oh
she
my
was telling
God.
me that message, and I was terrified. I was in shock, paralyzed. I couldn't believe what had happened. As quickly as she went in my body was as quickly as she went out. And the reader, came to, and she looked at me like, I told you so. She didn't even just say it. Like she may have said it in Spanish because she barely spoke English, but she
Right.
she told
Did
you.
you, that was your first experience ever with something psychic, correct?
Yes, with the tarot reading.
So what did it physically feel like to have her in your body? Was it like shock? Did it feel like, didn't feel good, or did it feel fantastic? What was it like?
It was like nothing I can ever really put into words. It was an incredible feeling of feeling spirit in my body. And, if that were to happen to me today, it would be a totally different story because I'm so much more spiritually evolved, and I have my protection, my shields up, and
Of course.
I know how energy is supposed to feel because I've been feeling energy for so long on other people, and I know when something is not right on myself. Whenever
Right.
I feel something negative, I could feel it in the back of my neck and
Okay.
my neck chakra here. So I definitely felt that energy in a different way then because I wasn't used to feeling energy, and it was terrifying. I literally slept in fetal position that night.
Oh my goodness.
I
I
was
can't even
I
imagine.
was, I think I was 20 years old at that point, and
Right.
it was terrifying. I was so scared, and I was so, you know, hesitant and reluctant to go through with it, but I knew I had to help her, and I knew that it was part of my mission to do a spirit rescue for her. And
Wow.
I really didn't know about that then. I
Right.
know all about it now, but I basically did a spirit rescue at 20 years old, and helped this woman, with my abilities. And she showed me that I had the ability. They call it in Spanish misa, which is what my ancestors had the ability to do for spirit to mount and
Okay.
into a physical living body. And so I just I
So take me, do you remember, like, take me through, like, how you actually did it, where you knew, where you felt that she crossed?
so the reader told me all the things that I had to do. I had to get um certain items of hers, and certain things like spiritual items, and I had to do
Sure.
like sort of like rituals and stuff. I actually had to go to her grave and it was a snowstorm and it was a blizzard, and I was like digging under ice and snow and doing all these things. And the next day, I actually immediately after I did that spirit rescue, the next day I got word that I got a job that I had applied for, and that same day I won $100 in a scratch off. And so for me, that was like confirmation that she had crossed over. Like she was saying, here's like a little gift for you, just so you have confirmation. Because I felt it. I felt her energy when I received those two blessings. I felt
Sure.
her energy, and I knew that she had crossed over, and even more so that she gave me these gifts. Her saying she would help me was that she really opened my eyes to spirituality, and how not only we can help spirit rescue, but we can help people through psychic readings, through mediumship readings, through Reiki healings, energy healings.
Sure.
We like our light workers now are here to help not only the people in the physical world, but to help people in the spirit world, to help our loved ones in spirit. So it was just such an amazing thing for me that she basically helped me, start my path as a light worker. And I
My God.
owe it so much to her that she started me on this journey. And ever since then, I've been, I was in search 20 years. I was doing all the work, and in search
Hmm.
of how I would do my spirit work, and it landed me into tarot. Just so
Cool.
ironic, because that's basically how it all started. So I
Yeah.
feel very deeply connected to the tarot.